Evening all, Louise here. Welcome to another episode of Straighten Your Crown Tarot. Right then, now then. If you haven't already, I've posted a copy of the letter that I received from, oh my goodness, Blue Bellwood Children's Hospice. I already posted it earlier, but I'd posted it with my address on it, and some kind person, I've forgotten your name, pointed me in that direction, so I had to pull it down and sort of edit it a bit and put it back up. So it's there if you want to read the letter. Right, this requested video is from Jelly Baby, who wants to know, will the Kier Starmer's breaking of the lockdown rules lead to his downfall? This is very, what's the word? Recent news that Starmer managed to procure himself a voice coach, shall we say, and during the Tier 4 lockdown, this voice coach broke the rules by entering a Tier 4 area, which was London at the time, to give Kier a private voice coaching lesson on Christmas Eve. Now, is it just me, or is there something quite brown and smelly about the whole thing? Now, for someone who wants to be home on a Friday night to have family time with his kids, you'd think he'd want to have family time with his kids on Christmas Eve instead of having a voice coaching lesson from some actress. I wonder if there was a bishop in that room and all. In my meditation, I've meditated about on this today. I think we're being thrown a bit of a red herring in a way, because yes, you know, the evidence suggests that he has broken the lockdown rules, and there is no statute of limitations on when somebody can be investigated for that. But it all seems very odd and very fishy, where all the media outlets are talking about the breaking of lockdown rules. No one's actually come out and said, was this really a voice coaching session? Because all the sessions before were done over Zoom. So why the urgency to come into London on Christmas Eve to give Kier Starmer a voice coaching lessons? Was it some sort of party? Did he eat cake? Did he keep at a distance of 6 feet? Did he wear a face mask at all times? Just because there aren't any photographs of this doesn't mean we're not in a Matt Hancock type situation. Are we in a Matt Hancock type of situation? Or did the whole family know about it? Does the wife know? These are all the questions. But Jellybean wants to know, will this latest cock up, if you like, of Kier Starmer, will this latest one bring him down? Now, my meditation is saying no, because for weeks now, I've been getting this sense that he's on his way out. But because the Labour Party don't have that same thing that the Tories have, whereas the Tories can put in a vote of confidence, or, you know, vote of no confidence, or whatever it's called, the Parliamentary Labour Party can't. And it has to be, he has to resign. Basically, he has to resign on his own accord. And I do think there's a lot of shenanigans going on in the corridors of Westminster between certain Labour individuals who are, I do believe this is a drip feed of all his blunders coming out bit by bit by bit, and I think it's intended to very slowly but surely embarrass, shame, or whatever him. I don't think he knows what shame is, but to make his position untenable. I think he's having his hand forced, but he's being slowly. He's having his arm twisted up his back very, very slowly. It feels like he is going to go, but I don't think from my meditation that this is going to send him going. I think there are a few more things that need to come out first that will then make his position totally untenable, and he will have no choice but to resign. My worry is, once he resigns, who's taking over? What experience have they got? What's their ideology? And are they capable of doing far worse? Anyway, so to begin with, I've got Wisdom of the Oracle cards by Colette Baron Reid, and I'm going to just pull one of those to give us an overall just to give us a starting point. I really do think that he's like a petulant child. He's almost like, when you've got a 2-year-old who's done something wrong, and when you catch them out, I've got black all over my fingers from my candle. When you catch them out and they start getting stroppy, he seemed to be doing that. I saw a short clip. I didn't really catch what he was saying, but you could just tell by the tone and the look on his face. He was walking out of some sort of conference, and somebody asked him a question about the breaking of lockdown rules, and I don't know what he actually said because it was just a fleeting glance, really. But his whole mannerism and his tone changed. I thought any minute now he's going to start stamping his feet and calling for his mum. And that's what little kids do when they've not learned that if you tell a lie, you're going to get caught out. And little kids tend to stick to the guns of lies when they get called out until they learn that it's a futile exercise. So he was like a petulant child. I do worry that he is totally inept. I don't think he's got any emotional intelligence. He clearly doesn't seem to have any emotional intelligence. And this voice coach, I hope he didn't pay her, because I dread to think what he was like before. But he's very wooden. And what we got? We've got community. Well, I keep banging on about community. So what's community? Number 8. Number 8. That's 7. Number 8. This card signals a new affiliation with a group. Humans are social creatures, and we need to know that we are useful to our families and communities. In a community, everyone has an important function and feels I matter. Membership in the group provides a sense of belonging, of kinship, and of purpose that comes from working together for the greater fulfillment of all. Perhaps you are part of a spiritual community or an artistic one. Perhaps you are in a learning community where you share your love of education. Regardless of its form or focus, your community brings you joy. You will be inspired by it and want to contribute to it. Your contribution may be as small as showing up or as large as becoming its leader. No matter your position in the group, your presence is needed. Right. So what's this got to do with Kier Starmer? I think I think what this is, if I'm tying it into the reading, I would say that if he does resign, then the whole of the Labour Party will start to collapse, because it's his blinkeredness and bloody-mindedness and stubbornness that actually is keeping them all together at the moment. I think even though he is a very weak leader on the outside, I think he's quite authoritarian, and even with his front bench, and this is what I'm getting from that. So it's almost like they need him as much as he needs them, but they are they are moving away from him. They are moving away from him in a big way, but they're doing it because they can't just put in a vote of no confidence. He has to resign. So I think we've got a bit of a sabotage unit going on that's exposing him right now, bit by bit by bit. It's like every week that goes by, there's something else. We still haven't, excuse me, we still haven't found out the unusual nature of his family makeup yet. And I think, after I said from the beginning, I think that's the big one. I think, when people find out what the issue there is, I think that's going to be the one that will finally send him to his writing desk to write out his resignation. But we want to know, is this, or Jellybean wants to know, is this latest cock up going to be the downfall? Going to send Kier Starmer packing? He's doing quite a lot of really radical stuff at the moment. I think he's just offered Mauritius like even more money to take Chagos Islands against Donald Trump's wishes. He's been fiddling about in the European Union again. It's almost like he's trying to take us all down before he goes. And didn't Biden do that by signing pardons left, right, and centre and making it difficult? I think this is what he's doing. I think he's trying to take the country completely down before he goes. It's almost like he has a vendetta against the United Kingdom and the people who live in it. Does feel like having our noses rubbed in it. It really does. So let's have a look. Is this latest lockdown breach, is he going to be investigated by the police? We've got strength in reverse. So he's on a wobble at the moment. He's not been able to keep. He's not able to keep it together. I did say a few videos back when I did one about Kier. I don't like doing videos on Kier Starmer all the time. I really don't. But I mean, the man is like, he's rich pickings. Every single week there's something else. But I said his arsehole was twitching. And this is feeling like that. He's got no, his outer strength is fading. And that's visible by his sort of toddler tantrum tactic yesterday. It's going to be interesting to see if Kemi Badenoch can finally come up with the goods at question time tomorrow. I'm going to miss it, but I might have to have a look at it after I finish work to see if she actually gets the backbone to stand up and start questioning him on these things and see what his reaction is and see if he's still sort of got this toddler-like tantrum stamping feet. I don't know, but there's no nurture in him, there's no strength in him, he's got no outer strength, and as a consequence his inner strength is crumbling, his arsehole's twitching. I think he knows it's coming. I think he knows what's happening. I think deep down he knows what's happening around him, but he's just determined to cling on. there's no achievement here with no too many. There's no achievement here with him at all. There's like such a lack of achievement in politics. His achievements rubbish. And then we've got the King of Cups. So then we've got his wavering, desperately wavering, and then we've got the King of Cups. So it's almost as if someone is being offered a lot of support, emotional support. There's somebody around him that's incredibly supportive. It is a man, and it feels like emotional support. It also feels like it might be more than just a little bit of emotional support. But I'm going to take some more cards before I make a judgment on that, because I'm feeling that there is a man giving him a lot of emotional support. And then we've got the Five of Swords. So it feels as this right. Talk to me, spirit. Talk to me. Say it again. Yep. Yeah. Right. So this is now. So what's happening now is that he feels as though he might well have dodged a bullet. The Five of Swords. Fives are always a challenge. It's like he's sort of walked away from the battle unscathed, and his opponents have walked off and left their weapons behind and given up. It feels like this is an empty victory, because for now he feels as though he's sort of walked away unscathed. But it's a 5, which means they will be back. So I think I'm right. I think I'm right when I said with my meditation that he's got a lot going on in his mind. People are sort of drip feeding all these scandals. It feels like I'm seeing people sort of making a record of everything that he's ever done that could be held against him, and they've got a book on him. And every time he says something, or they just bide the time, and every so often they take another page out of this book, and they're just landing it on the media's doorstep to report on his incompetence and the lack of integrity, and it's a drip, drip, drip. This is going to continue. We're just literally week on week, week in, week out. We are going to hear more and more stories of how appalling Kier Starmer is. We have an inkling. We have our suspicions, but nothing is actually concrete. It's not concrete evidence, but the evidence is there. For now, he thinks he's walked away from it. He's walked away unscathed. He's walked away unscathed. And as this walking away unscathed towards this man who is his emotional support, or maybe something more than that, perhaps. It's almost like running home to tell mum how good you've done. Trying to impress somebody. He's trying to impress somebody, and it's not working. It's not going to work in the long run. One more, please. Let's have one more. So, where are we then? So, his arsehole's twitching. He's got this emotional support person. He feels like he's got away with it a bit unscathed at the moment. And this is plans made. So he's right. The plan is already made. Right. So what I said before I started flipping cards is that, like, there's always, while I started flipping cards, that there's a plan. There's always been a plan to keep a book on people. In Parliament, I think I think they've all got a book. They've all got a book. Anybody who's ever done anything slightly dodgy, there's a book on them to be brought out at the right moment when they need them to leave. It's like a ticking clock. You know, your time's up, sort of thing. And this plan is completed. The plan's complete. It was completed some time ago. And he has some enemies within the Labour Party that have a lot of information on him. And they're just biding the time. They're waiting for it all to come to fruition. Right. And then we've got the King of Wands. Yeah, they're waiting for it all to come. They're waiting for the right time. Because as soon as the right time comes out, the lot's going to come out. The story will be more three-dimensional rather than leaving people with suspicions and inklings on what's going off. The story is going to come out with concrete evidence, and it's going to be like a baptism of fire for him. Yeah. He's right. Yeah. Right. Right. Truth coming out. Ace of Swords. The truth coming out. He's twitching because the truth's coming out. And the truth it's to do with Kier Starmer, but it has got something to do with this emotional support or more than emotional support person. I think I've said this in a previous video about Starmer. Knight of Cups. This is an offer of, I think this is an offer of this is a relationship. Right. These two are touching. His emotional support person, he thinks he's got away with it unscathed. He's running home to tell his friend that everything's okay. There's some it's more than friendship. It's much more than friendship. It's an offer, a bail you out type offer, but it's also an emotional offer, a relationship offer, perhaps. And then we've got the Page of Swords. Now, this is my spy in the midst card. So we've got, he thinks he's walked away unscathed. Plans have already been made, and the spies are out. And the spies have been instrumental in making these plans. So there are people behind the scenes that he's not aware of who've been gathering information to feed back for when it's time to strike. And the strike is going to happen in several several attacks, and this is just one of them. This lockdown thing is just one of the attacks. And then we've got the Ace of Wands. New growth. Everything's planned. It's all going to happen and it's going to be some sort of fiery challenge leading. This is going to lead to a real fiery challenge. It's like a brand new. There's like someone they haven't even thought of before. This is a new younger person is going to and with it being fire, I would say it was a male person. It's a masculine energy. And I don't know why I'm saying it, but I'm saying we're streeting because fire. It's new growth, so it's a younger man, somebody who's still fertile. Well, I know men are fertile until the day they die, but I mean this is quite a phallic image to me at the moment, because this is all very relationshipy. Yeah, they're going to wait for the time to strike. Once they've struck and all the evidence is out there, there will be a brand new challenge from some youngish male who's still in his prime, shall we say. Right. But is this gonna be the thing that finishes him off? So now we've got the Apprentice card. So this truth is coming out. An offer of relationship and an apprentice. Let me have the next one. I can't tell the story of this yet. Speak to me, spirit. What's this? What's this? What's this work card all about? Eight of Pentacles. Hierophant. Okay. Oh. Right. Now I get it. Okay. Yep. Yep. Yeah. Okay. So then it's like this new challenge from a young person who's already sort of proved himself in a lot of ways, but he's a little bit naive. But he's been working really hard on his image and who he has around him. It feels very much like going back to the drawing board in a lot of respects. And then between the offer of love and the spy card, we have the Hierophant. I don't often see the Hierophant as a religious leader, although he is supposed to be the Pope or represent the establishment in some way. I'm seeing this as, yeah, I think there's going to be some sort of, I think the police are going to investigate this definitely. And there will be some sort of judgment which will lead to Kier Starmer carrying a very heavy burden. Now that's the 10. 10s are endings. So at some point he will be putting that burden down and starting afresh somewhere else. Well, what does that mean? Is this court or judgment going to lead to him getting away with it then? No. He's not going to get away with it, but he's going to get out the spotlight, right, for a bit. I think he's going to keep his head down for a bit. And then we've got the Queen of Pentacles in reverse. So I think he might get fined, or I think there might be a fine here. There's Queen of Pentacles in reverse. I think there might be a fine. But is this going to stop him from, is he going to leave his position as Prime Minister because of this particular issue? Oh, he's going to be faced with a choice. And we've got some relationship cards here. This one. These two here. It's only because of the placement, but I'm seeing that he's going to be forced to make a decision between a person and his job. So what's he going to choose? Is he going to choose the job? Right, he's got another knight, another young man. This is a player card. To me, this is the player card. Not necessarily in relationships, but someone who's a bit of a fraudster type thing, a player. I'm seeing this as a player right now. So he's stuck between two individuals. Someone who has love for him and someone who has lust for him. What about his bloody job though, Spirit? Come on, is he going? Is this gonna finish him off? Well, then he has to go into deep contemplation as to what he's going to choose, but you're not giving me an answer. Is it going to finish him off? All right. Page of Pentacles, messengers. This is new money coming in. This is an offer of an opportunity, a financial opportunity. You're not going to tell me, are you? Let me have another Wisdom of the Oracle card and see if they'll tell me. Let's have one more wisdom. Come on, I want to know, is he going or is he staying? Is he going or is he staying after this episode? I'm not feeling that he's going with this. I haven't right from the start when I was meditating on it. But I want to try and see if I can't at least get a definite answer. I might not get no answer at all. He is going to go. I can tell you that much. He's going to try and cling on for as much as he can, but there are powers that be behind the scenes that are pulling levers to release the book they've got on him in like a series. It's like a tune in next week for another episode of The Incompetence of Kier Starmer. It's like that. It's like waiting for another episode of Coronation Street or something. Oh God, do you know what? I saw this 4 times when I was shuffling. Buy the book. And the thing that went through my head when I saw this was, you're supposed to do everything by the book. But this came out upside down, so I don't know. 11. 11, by the book. Did it come out upside down? I'm going to read both just in case it came the right way up. So by the book. The universe works within a structure of divine laws and principles that provides a framework for human experience and evolution. The law of abundance, the law of prayer, law of karma, law of attraction, the law of thought, the law of compensation, and the law of nature are only a few that are known. These principles create perfect order and operate with a kind of precision beyond human understanding. Even revolution has its place in universal law. Human beings in turn have their own laws and customs that vary from culture to culture and family to family. Laws keep social order and govern behaviour, reflecting an instinctive understanding that harmony is important. This is a time to learn these laws and conform to them rather than being the rebel and flouting them. When this card appears, submit to structure and follow the rules, even if they seem to make no sense. Release resistance, for universal laws will correct any disharmony. Open your eyes to those universal laws and it will be easier to go by the book at this time. That's in the upright. In the reverse, we've got now is the time for a real change in consciousness as you are incited to revolt. Challenge the structures that are limiting authentic progress. It is not enough to rebel in small ways. This is a call for revolution. Focus on what you really want to achieve, regardless of whether it feels far outside the box, that the established order may reject it. Genius, invention, and transformation are rarely comfortable and less likely to be accepted by the mainstream. It may be time for you to say no to the way of your group, take a stand and make real changes. It could be that the structure of your inner world is altering to the need for a complete overhaul. This is a time for transformation. This is the end, I think. So let go of the fear of change. Your intuition will lead you through the darkness. There is no turning back now. Trust that light will dawn. Epiphanies will surely lead to miracles. So it's time for a change. It's time to go by the book. I think the people around him that want him out are going to go by the book, but they're going to do it very sneakily, bit by bit by bit. So I would say, Jellybean, no, this isn't going to bring him down, but it's going to be a small cog in a large wheel full of cogs that will all slot into place and collectively will bring him down. He's got to hang on. He might hang on for his full term, but by the time he's finished as Prime Minister of this country, his political career will be completely over. And in the meantime, Kier Starmer, as far as entertainment value is concerned, is just ridiculous. But there's never a dull moment in the UK, never a dull moment at the moment. So that's your Kier Starmer. He's not going to go down with this. He's going to go down. It has so much to do with this Knight of Cups and this Ace of Wands and the King of Wands even. And the Knight of Wands. But this is about the makeup of his family, the unusual makeup of his family. It's not all out there yet, but it will be. And when it's a complete picture, that's when he will go. Right, I'm off. I hope you enjoy this reading, and I shall see you soon for another episode of Straighten Your Crown Tarot. Ta-ra!